Hello, fine folks, and welcome to Boggy Plays. Today we are doing a top 10 most anticipated games of 2025, which I hope everything seems to be alright. I hope everything is alright. I don't even. Oh, I have it here. Sorry. Yep, I have it here. I hope everything is. Is the sound alright? Talking hand. Are we fine? Help us if the sound is alright, so I don't have to double check it. So I hope you are. How you find this nice crusty Sunday morning here in Romania is minus, I think, minus 4 degrees or something, so it's pretty cold. So let's try to do this. I'm not alone. It's going to be with Mr. Radu. Hello, Mr. Radu. How are you?
Fabulous.
Fabulous. How's the weather in Barcelona?
Sunny.
Sunny.
Ooh.
How
What did you expect?
how many degrees are there? What's the temperature?
Well, it's quite chilly in the morning, but it gets up to 15 degrees in midday. So
Oh, we had 15 this week here, but this next week is going to be way more chilly.
wow, I thought you were deep in snow.
No, we're not deep in snow, but we're okay. It is cold. It will be cold. I think
Yeah, well,
-8 a few nights, but it's gonna be fine. Oh, we're gonna survive this. So we're doing the top 10 most anticipated games of 2025. What are your thoughts on that?
well,
What are your thoughts on 2025 when it comes to games?
2025. Well, I never gave this a whole lot of thought before, but now that we do these top tens, you're making me look for things, and I had to dig up a lot of at least what seemed interesting to me. As I always do, I look for a good-looking cover
Okay, for games with a pretty cover. Yep.
or an artist I respect and follow, or but yeah, that's usually my approach. So if there's a pretty colors and a striking graphic design, well, I'm all for it. Don't know if the games are any good. So,
Pretty covers. I'm not in the pretty cover side. On the pretty cover side, I'm more on designers and game and weight of the game. But
this is why we complement each other, right?
Yeah.
You're the right side of the brain, I'm the left.
And I'll also look at the package, but. Most of the games that are on my list are games that I kind of knew about since last year, more or less. So there's probably during the year there'll be some more games that will come out and will probably seem interesting. But we have to talk about what's interesting right now.
Well, that's how the industry works. They do tend to build up a little bit of hype a year prior, so people have notion that what should be expecting from next year. You know, usually all the publishers, at least at Essen, have a sneak preview under closed glass of what they are working on.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so the one thing is I did not put any reprints, any re-implementations that I know they're coming out next year, and I know a few, one or two. I only looked for new games.
What about spin-offs?
I have no spin-offs. Nope,
Okay,
none.
I
You
might
might
have
be
one of those.
cheating. Okay, okay. So, D is kind enough to bring me some tea, so I can be functional.
In your
Uh,
deluxeified jar.
in my deluxeified jar, of course. My Zakopane jar, if there are any Polish people watching. Ooh, the tea is just better.
Hmm.
Um, so, where should I put it so it's not in the frame? I'll put it here. Okay, so without further ado, I would say let's get into the lists.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, if you say so.
Who has the honors?
I'm going to. Do you want to have the last word? I'll give you the last word today.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm feeling pretty confident that you might approve of my number one.
Okay. So I'm gonna start then. My number 10 is a game, believe it or not, and it's called Epochs: Course of Cultures. Build your legendary civilization to stand the tests of epochs. Um,
Hmm.
what did happen here? Sorry for let me see what happened here. Something happened here.
There's the delay. But what did happen?
I don't know,
Okay.
and it's just killing me, man. It's killing. Come on. Okay, we're done. I don't know what happened, but anyways,
You
so
run on old Soviet TVs and you just have to
yeah,
punch
to
the
pound
top of
them.
it.
Yeah,
Now it's working.
it's also so. This is a game about you will about the it's a civilization building game. It says you lead your civilization in a plan. And plan a path through the crossroads of history across three epochs. Be a pioneer to expand territories, be an innovator to foster study and research, or be a warmonger to raid using superior armaments. The choice is yours, and it is your strategic acumen that will shape the course of cultures and lead your people towards victory. It's my number 10 because I am a bit apprehensive of the warmonger stuff. I do prefer to take the technology part of it, but I'm willing to try it. It's a Civ game. I like Civ games. Um, so it says it is 100, so about 3 hours. If it's a good 3 hour civilization game, then it says it's 120 to 180. So if it 180 should be at 4 players, so it should be around 150 game, 1 hour and 150-minute game. Um, I'm curious to see. I wouldn't say. Let's show some pictures. I wouldn't say it's a hell of a looker, but the last, I would say the last good Civ game that felt like a Civ game is a game that I have played on stream here, and it's I forgot it. I have problems with names, which is an older game that I played with the expansion. Yeah, I'm interested to see it. I think it looks decent. It seems to have good pieces. So
Yeah, I'm not sure the theme shows through. Seems a bit abstract, but yeah, and it has quite
it
competition on its hands, maybe because with a lot of Civ's games already on the market,
I don't know.
what does this one do that others don't?
I don't
So
know.
we'll
I'll
have
have
to
to see
see.
it. Yeah, I can't. I'm interested in this one. I'm interested in playing. I'm interested to see how it feels and how well I feel after I know playing it 2 hours. Does it feel like a Civ game? Does it feel that I went through steps and created
Yeah,
something, or is just a game where you grow on tracks or something like that?
right. So
So
you take a cautious approach on your
approach
number 10.
management. Yeah.
All right. So you're done with yours or
Yes, I am,
all
and I
right?
am willing to know
My
what you.
number 10. Well, we said you said you didn't put any other games that are
Reprints or
reprints
spin-offs
or
or
yeah.
something like that. Yeah.
So mine is called Line of Fire Burnt Moon.
Lineup, man.
This is and I'm not a big Undaunted fan. It didn't call to me that that system, right, of
Never played
oh,
Undaunted.
right, but
Never.
the idea of it was originally what set in World War II in Africa or something.
Uh-huh.
Um, and now this one is based on the system that's uh,
Undaunted, but
Undaunted,
but
but
it's in
the
space or
new
something.
series in space. Yeah, it's
Of course.
22,000 or something like that.
Okay.
But
There's not a lot of photographs here. I'm not.
yeah, that's the cover. I
Okay.
really like the cover. It really sets the mood. Plus I should have looked for it. I mean, one of the reasons why I put this on my list is because of the illustrator Leonardo Porn.
Okay.
Did the ICE, which I talked about in previous top tens. It was on my one other list,
Okay.
and because of him as well. And now he did this the illustration for this game. So I'm kind of looking forward to see what's inside.
Okay. I have no idea about this game, so I
And it's a
cannot.
two-player game, so it should be fast. It says 20 to 30 minutes. So yeah,
Okay. Let's go to number 9, right?
8.
So my number 9 is a game that went on Kickstarter last year. I tried to find a copy,
Hmm.
but it was kind of hard to. In Europe, I know that there were some copies, but it was hard to get one for a smaller channel like ours. The game is Sweetlands. Um, this is
Oh,
a
haven't heard of this one either.
Japanese from a Japanese company who made Ostia. Ostia is a also a very cool game. It has an expansion. I think the expansion is adds more to the game. But this is a game about making sweets. Um, this is pretty much
This is not on your alley, my friend. What attracts you to this
why it
game?
is because it's a 100 to 200 minute playing time. It has a weight of 4. Uh,
What? It doesn't look like it.
yeah, it doesn't. But this is a game where the kingdom of delightful confections. The former king has succumbed to this gluttonous love for sweets, leaving behind a final decree. Summoned by Destroyer, you and your fellow players are challenged to build the most magnificent city, and if you succeed, you will ascend the new ruler. It's a heavyweight hero style with over 4 unique characters, wooden tokens, offering ample gaming experience. Traditional Euro style. It's a game. Um, I looked at it when it was on Kickstarter because I wanted to get a copy, but I have absolutely no. I'm not
You're
as big as others are. It
you're curious
looks.
about the weight, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm really curious. I'm okay to. I'm not a. You're right. The theme is not really there for me.
Yeah,
But
not a big manga fan or this
yeah,
anime
style,
style.
nope. But the game itself looks really interesting. It, yeah, I can't really tell you all the things that that because I can't really remember all the things that because I looked at how the game was supposed to play and so on Kickstarter, but it looked like a heavy game with a cutesy theme. It
Yeah.
looked like a game that it's a deceitful one. because the cutesy look how the cover looks. It makes you think this is a sweet, fast,
Yeah,
simple game about
set collection of
making, yeah,
a deck of 50
but it's
cards.
not. You have to build a whole thing on your
Uh,
player board. It's not at all an easy game.
yeah, it definitely has a hook, right? You see this box and say, "What? Well, what is this game? What's
Yeah.
it? Wait, what does it have inside?" And you say, "Oh,
Oh, exactly.
well, nice. You got
Yeah,
me
yeah.
intrigued."
I am. Um, that's my number 9. What is your number
Right.
9? But something is
So
happening here. I
my
have to.
number 9 is closer to a Euro game. But as we've seen in your both of yours and this one look somehow similar. They went heavy on the graphic design. The game is Baghdad City of Peace.
Uh
And
huh.
somehow if I've seen
This is a Fabio
uh
Lopiano, no game.
yes, this has been a renaissance of Middle Eastern themes
Yep.
lately,
Yep.
and it's everywhere now. But this one, you wouldn't believe why I chose this one. It because when I saw the pictures, it reminded me of a pepperoni pizza. And so I have to put this in my top 10 because of that, uh, and because it feels
But
seems
I
like a Euro game.
no, no. Did you look at the illustrator? What's the name
Ah,
of the illustrator?
no, why?
Roland.
Roland McDonald?
Yes, Roland McDonald.
Who who is this? I
I
don't
don't
know.
know, but the name is it's that was not the name of the guy who did McDonald's. It doesn't matter.
Ah, okay, okay.
I'm throwing you off. So
Yeah. So this comes from Alley Cat Games. I did no, I tried to put the publisher as well, so
yeah, it's
people
Alley.
may
Yeah.
know it. So yeah, well, this might be your typical Euro set in X theme. Um, but it's I don't know how this can be a competitive and we work together to build the Golden Palace. What's the issue
It's
there?
semi co-op. Is it
I
semi
don't
co-op?
know.
If it's semi
That's what it
co-op, it
says.
doesn't work. Most likely, it doesn't work.
Yeah, so you're basically competing, but you're building together the palace. Probably that's the case.
I see.
And there is a huge round main board, and you do stuff on tracks on your player board. That's what I could deduce from um, the photos we have at our disposal.
I see.
So there's not a lot of coverage, not any video. So we're just going for pure looks here.
No, it's not. I don't know what to say to you. It looks
Okay.
interesting.
At least it's not on your list.
No, it's not. It's not.
That's
It's
good.
that
That's
I've
good.
looked at it. You know what drew the attention was the fact that it is Fabio Lopiano and Nestore Magone.
Right.
But yeah.
I really like that round board. It's unusual, I would say. Usually you're going with these rectangles, square shapes. I think a circle is a nice change in table presence.
Okay.
Plus, it looks like a pizza. I can't get that out of my mind. It shouldn't be based in Italy. Why? Anyway, it's good.
Let's
It's
go to
fine.
number 8.
Number 8.
My number 8 is again a heavier game that came out last year on Kickstarter, and the game is called The Sixth Realm. And why am I interested? Because of two names: Matthew Dunstan and Seth Jaffe. And the publisher, which is Final Frontier Games, they cleaned up a bit their act lately, I believe. This is a heavy game. Um, it's a game where you have some bit of city building, of exploration, a bit of chaining your actions and things like that. It's a big, heavy beast. It says in the sixth round, players assume the role of explorers who have sailed this new old continent. With the backing of the crown and help of the guilds, players will compete to make a name for themselves in this strange new realm. It's a Euro game. You have to take certain guild actions and do those actions and start small and slowly grow, of course.
Wow, I didn't come across this title.
Uh,
And plus, you might hook people by saying that the Miko has done the artwork for this game.
Oh yeah, Demicho did the artwork for this game. Um, it's it's so complicated. I can't even. You have to go there to go there. I've looked.
It looks complicated.
It is complicated. I don't know how thematic it is, but the main things that drew me to this game is Seth Jaffe and Matt Dunstan. With both of them, I've made an interview that you can find an interview on the channel. I like usually what Matt Dunstan does. I like what Seth Jaffe does. So I'm curious to see Drake Villarreal. I don't know what he did. To be honest with you. So I can fast look. Let's see if he did anything. Merchant's Cove. He did Solani, which is not a bad game. He did something with Ancestors for so he did some things.
Merchant's Cove, you mentioned.
Merchant's Cove, yeah.
It's a good asymmetric game.
Yeah, I have not played it. So Solani, I think, is the game that I have played for it, which is not a bad game at all.
Yeah.
But it's big, it's sprawling, it looks interesting because of its weight. I don't know how everything will turn out to be. Now I see the order here is Seth Jaffe, Matt Dunstan. As I said in the interview, I followed some things that Seth Jaffe does with design and all of that. I like some of his games. I think what it is, Gold something, Gold West. I think is his design or not. He was working with TMG on Crusaders was one of his design, and he did also other games that I enjoy. So yeah, I'm quite interested to see this one.
This what's the publisher's name? I recognize the logo.
Final Frontier Games.
They did Robin Hood or something like that. I still have not played that game. It's on my to-do list, which is
The Merry Men. I do think it has it's not a perfect game. A lot of people talked about that game.
It's another semi-co-op.
Oh yeah, not
they do
working.
try to make them work, don't they?
Okay, so I would kindly ask you to go to your number 8.
All right. I thought you had more to say about it. It feels a bit out of my comfort zone. But okay, number 8. Now, this is one I've heard or I've seen the cover last year. We did not talk about it because there were not a lot of information out there. And you might like this one. It's called Aeterna, and it's from Martin Wallace.
This is this is a 2024. Because it should have arrived in 2024.
Right?
Now
it's 25 on
BGG.
So
now it says 25 on BGG. Yeah, that's why I did not look at this one. I got a fast explanation at Essen, and I am really interested in this one. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a bit afraid because of now we have.
It's not very complex.
It's not complex. It's a worker placement game with a sort of a deck building aspect that you're and resource
Yeah, these are
management and all
yeah,
that.
yeah.
It's a your typical Euro game. But I'm afraid from what I've seen that it might be just another Euro. I hope I'm wrong, but it's based in ancient Rome, and you do certain actions. You go there, you place temples. Um, so I've been caught by this cover of a dome,
Of the dome, yeah. It is sorry, I was yeah.
and it attracts me. You know, I'm usually a big worker placement fan, so
Yeah, I'm gonna
Martin Wallace usually does great designs, so it has good things going for it. So, but until we
play
play
it.
this,
Yeah, we
we
don't know.
might not know.
I'm gonna try to get a copy then, if you're
So
really.
please do.
um, okay, seems interesting. I got an explanation at SM. I don't know what is happening. It's cutting off a little bit. Um, I don't know what is happening. A tiny bit. So the let me see. So I have gotten an explanation at Essen for this one, and
But it wasn't out,
it
right?
wasn't out yet. They told me that it was released, I think, in November or something.
Uh,
And
yeah, and I haven't heard of Ergo Ludo editions before. Not sure. Oh yeah, they did stuff, but usually historical games. Okay,
okay,
so it's right for their publisher to do a game like this.
okay. Now let's go to um,
And number 7.
number 7. So number 7. Where are you, number 7? Here you are. So my number 7 is a game that you got a peek right now, and it's called I won't. It's called Popcorn. I don't know how how
It's because it's about the movies, isn't it?
it is about the movies, isn't it?
I
Uh,
looked at it and said, I don't know.
I
Not
don't
sure
know if
about
it's
this one.
good or bad. I don't know. But it's about the film industry, and yeah, I'm a film director, so uh,
It's not about the popcorn.
it's not.
Why would you? Anyway, you don't
Because,
go to the
because
movies
I
to
don't
eat.
no, I don't go to films to watch popcorn to watch popcorn to eat popcorn. I hate people who go to the movies and
Yeah, wow.
I'm really trying to, and near me someone and then you hear that they also have something to drink. It
Yeah, or plastic bags that they
yeah,
chips and all that. Oof.
something that
Really
they snuck
takes you from the immersion, right?
they something they snuck into the cinema and you're trying to get into to have that experience.
Right, but I don't think this is going too deep into.
No, I think this is more of a Euro game that you try to match things to people, certain spectators who want to watch a certain type of film, and you want to attract
Yeah,
them, and so it feels like a classical Euro style simulation, but an economic simulation. But yeah, I'm still interested because it's a film. It's a game about films, and it looks. If it's a 60-minute game, it's most likely a midweight game. So yeah, why not? There's not a lot of games which do TV and films well, and anytime I find one, I'm gonna try to yeah see what happens.
hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Don't know what's going on with these games. But like I mentioned, it feels to me that went hard on graphic design,
Okay.
and this goes for this title as well. It's called Ego.
No.
or extraterrestrial greeting organization. I mean, that's enough to get you hooked.
Oh,
But when
man.
you look inside,
This is a
it
Rainer Knizia.
looks so
Oh, re-implements
abstract.
Beowulf. Oh. This is a
Really?
re-implementation, my friend. Re-implements.
Well,
This is a
another.
thing that Knizia does these days.
Yeah, I didn't look if it had, but you know, check the cover. I didn't even look for the
No?
designer. So
Okay.
yeah. Well, it kind of throws me off. The description is interesting, but when you look inside, you don't find any aliens or planets. It feels so abstract.
And
Um,
yet you chose it. What is wrong with you?
well, I, 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 I don't know.
What,
This
what
this
is
one is an
profoundly wrong with
odd
you?
odd one for me.
Yeah, but if it's an odd one, you put it on your top 100.
No, this is anticipated. This
Yeah,
doesn't.
top 100 anticipated.
No, top 10, not 100. Um,
You did scrape at the
well,
bottom of the barrel then.
I thought the cover looked cool, right? But the contrast between what's on the cover and what's in the box is striking.
It
Because I haven't
is.
played the game and the premise is interesting, it's enough to put it on the top 10, right? So this is why it's here. Um, so it's from Bitewing Games, artist Marie Bergeron. So plus it has a good catchphrase. Rival ambassadors compete to befriend and not offend aliens in in this epic galaxy track. So it's an epic galaxy track, but I don't see it on the table, my friends.
It looks
It's
like
not.
you're not alone. Now the race is to establish interstellar relations. Man, it's going to be abstract
Wow. Yeah, yeah.
you
I
can find
wanted
it.
this
This
to
is a
be more
Knizia game.
thematic than it actually looks.
This
It's
is a you won't find theme here. This is a Knizia game.
no, it's triangles, pentagons, and all that
You,
matching shapes.
it might be a good
This
game,
looks.
but I don't know.
Yeah. I'm cautiously looking for this one, but I'm. It's not gonna be I don't know. It's maybe interesting for some people. It's good to showcase some of these titles. I don't think it's on your list
The
because of that.
of course it is. Wait for it.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
number 6.
Number 6. Now we're
My
getting into the good ones.
yeah, my number 6 is a game that also came out last year on Kickstarter. It's a game that I wanted to play, but I never got the chance. Maybe this year. I don't have a relationship with them. Maybe I'll manage to get it. Um, the game is called Galactic Cruise. This is a worker placement game, which is done by Dranda Games, I believe. They came out this year with, I think they have 2 games in 2025. I don't know if the other one is also, it will come out also in 2025. The other one is, it's not on my list, it's Mutagen. Um, but this one looked a tiny bit more interesting to me. The artwork, the way it looks, the what do you do in the game? It's a heavy Euro game practically. It's here it says 3.91. This is a game about it says aviation, flight economic, industry, manufacturing. Um, I'm not a huge fan of science fiction, but in space exploration. But yeah, I am taken by the weight and the way it looks. It says that on your turn, you either place a worker to take 2 actions in the ever-expanding network, launch a ship, and send one of your workers to space as a pilot, or recall all of your Earthbound workers to collect funding bonuses.
Right.
Include acquiring burp, constructing ships, attracting guests, and building develop. It seems like one of those. You have a lot of actions. You have to time them, chain them correctly. It's a game. It rings to me. It sings to me. So
Right.
it doesn't look at all half bad. What I have seen and what I thought. Let's go here. To also show, it felt like it had a bit of oversized pieces. I think I would have liked to have smaller pieces, but that's neither here nor there. These days, I'm a bigger fan of smaller meeples than I'm a big fan of huge meeples, big fat chunky meeples. Sometimes I prefer smaller ones. I do think I do hope it's also better for cost, and I think a lot of publishers should consider going slightly smaller on wood. That didn't sound
Yeah.
well. It also has 2 expansions, but I'm gonna try to get a copy of this and hopefully play it and show people how it plays also with all the expansion content that it had. I don't know if I'm going to be able to, but I'm gonna try.
Well, fun fact. I had to choose between Galactic Cruise and Ego, and I chose Ego because it's
more
easier,
on
I
your
think.
alley. Hello, Jeremiah. How are you? So my number 6 was this one. Your number 6, Mr. Radu.
My number 6. This is where the cover just I you know how you scroll on your social media and you get to a thread and or a post that just you stop in your tracks and say, "What is this?" And actually, I said I will have to look this up later, and then I couldn't remember the name of the game, and it's still there's not a lot of information about it.
Yes.
The game is Moirai, and and I spent quite a lot of time looking for it because I knew it was about these.
It's in your backyard. It's the Vir. Okay.
Yeah, but it's not about them. It's about the illustration. Lola's Romero did the cover. It looks like a small card game.
It is a small card game.
But when I did see the cover, I didn't know anything about it. There was no information. Just this is what a sneak preview.
Yeah, and and therein lies the point. This is the way Radu picks up games. Does the cover look interesting? Yeah. Is the game
right? It's
a stinker?
Probably a small card game. But this is the type of illustration that just gets me, just to go and look at it.
Yeah, it doesn't look half bad. The cover, I'll give it that.
So yeah, the three fates theme of from Greek mythology is something of a hook, or for me it seems interesting. Don't know much about the game. Feels like more of a set collection and do the best with according to a certain scoring pattern.
Mm-hmm. On that turn, players choose to keep a card or take an entire discarded pile and place all of those cards on their loom. At the end of the game, the players score more. It's probably a very abstract card game.
Man,
but
I want a poster with this. It's that good. It's probably my number one illustration for this year.
Okay. Yeah. I can get on board with that.
Thank you.
No. Okay.
What's your? Oh, we're moving to 5. Oh no, you're 6.
No. It's 5, my friend.
This is 5. All right.
My number 5 is a game that I have played. That because we did manage to get a preview copy. I have enjoyed. I have played a lot of because I had to do a Kickstarter preview of it. The game sits behind me, and it's called World Order. This is, you can find the playthrough on the channel. We did a 2-player playthrough, which I think is fine. I think works well with 2 players. It taps into how the world works these days, politically wise, and let's say, yeah, politically. I mean, on a level of politic relations between nations, between huge superpowers and influence, and how they want to influence all the world and things like that. I do think this game manages to achieve what it sets out to achieve. It's a very well done game. The theme really works, and it's far easier to get out and play than Hegemony, and teach and play than Hegemony, because there are, although every major faction in the world has its own superpowers, we all are playing kind of the same game. And we are trying to score those. We don't score points differently as we do in Hegemony, for example. We score points more or less the same way through an area majority game. It's good. It's let's say a bit faster than Hegemony. It's easier to bring to the table. It works well. It's well done. And if you're interested in these kinds of themes, yeah, Jeremiah, it's published by them. Yeah, yeah, you can watch a playthrough on the channel if you want to, and our review of it. It's really really good. I highly if you're enjoying these themes, I do think this game works. The game itself is good, and the game itself is easier, as I said, to get to the table than Hegemony is. The game is World Order. What is your number 5, my friend?
My number 5. It's again. I think Spanish design has been on the rise in the last couple of years. They come with interesting interesting stuff. This one's from Ludo Nova,
Yeah.
and the designer is Danny Garcia. The idea is what placed this on the
Is that coming of age game?
coming of age. Yes. Yeah, it's almost like a game of life or parallel that you just almost get to start again. Childhood, mid age, to I don't know how. I have no idea.
This is the only image that we have of this
Yeah.
game. It's
Yeah.
pretty much
So the
everything.
description is all we have right now, and I think it's interesting to see what choices would you make knowing what you know now, right? As as a grown adult, right? So that's what I take from it. It might be not that, but the idea of taking other interests and going with it. Picking up careers, and I don't know how we would turn that into a game, but we'll just have to wait and see. So yeah, and
The only other game that tried to do that in a way was The Pursuit of Happiness.
yeah,
And there's also CV, which I think it's very fun, a very fun game.
right.
I don't know. I have no idea what this game. I have seen the cover. So very few things. The theme is interesting. I have no idea what the mechanisms are. CV is also a game where you roll a lot of dice, but it's so funny and it works so well that I kept it. I still have it in my collection.
Yeah, and this could turn out to be a great family game to play with all ages, right?
Why not? Yeah.
And to see what kids might be interested in and what action they might take, to see how they think about life and going forward. Maybe I'm looking too much into it, but all right, I'm intrigued. I mean, Danny Garcia has done quite good things, and the illustrator Ed Wells is on the wave.
On the
He's
rise.
everywhere
Yeah,
right
yeah, yeah.
now.
On the rise. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, yeah. I've looked at it, but so little information. Nothing about its weight. Nothing about so.
Yeah, it has to be a top midweight, and it's not over that for sure. It's
Nah, for that
it's
this kind of theme, probably.
yeah.
Let's go to number 4. What's your number?
I think it's your turn. Oh man.
It's my turn. It's my turn. Yeah, you're right. My number 4 is also a heavier game. It's a game about going bananas or
Is that the name of the game?
going bananas on building
If not, that should be copyrighted. I'm copywriting it right now.
on
Going
on
bananas.
building musical instruments. The game is Luthier.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
so it's by Paverson Games. I'm gonna try to get a copy and hopefully it's the yeah, it's about making musical instruments and selling them. This is mainly the game, but it looks good. It has good pieces. It's interesting as a it looks interesting as a game. I don't know how good it is. I have to yet play it. I've seen it on. I've seen one or two playthroughs of it. I think one as a play. I watched a bit of. I think Paul's playthrough. I looked at a bit. I think he did one. It looks interesting, but until I play it, I cannot tell you if it's good. But its biggest sprawling is a theme that is not easy to implement necessarily. I hope it's well done. I certainly hope at the end of the game I'll feel I did something good at my time. It's Vincent Dutrait, which on this one I think it warrants the having Vincent Dutrait on this game. So I don't know. Let's see if it's good. The gameplay is good.
Mhm.
So Luthier, my number 4.
Excellent, excellent.
Mr. Radu, what is
Oh
your
man,
number 4?
I will say right now, I would have put this on my number 1 if I didn't want to end the top with such a heavy theme. This is not for everyone. I will say up front that cautious graphical content is approaching. I mean, you have to know where this game is coming from. So it's from Trick or Treat Studios, from a movie that's done by a musician. Have you heard of Rob Zombie?
No,
Okay, well, he's
I've heard about
more of a horror
the film.
or
No, that's the film
uh,
Rob Zombie. That's a film,
hard
but the game no.
rock. Yeah. So it's House of a Thousand Corpses. I mean, this is such an edgy movie
I
with
thought the
such
game
an
was
edgy
called
theme.
this way.
This is not for you because it's a cooperative. So
No, not for me.
I've put this because I enjoy seeing outrageous or
Yeah, crazy
companies that go
themes.
out of their way to bring themes that are unusual, and in this case it goes so far into the negative aspects of humanity because it treats about uh, murderers trying to
It looks like it taps into the I don't know 70s how is it called 70s
slasher or
yeah
something like that.
something
It's a
I don't know
horror
if it's
movie
gory.
that it's yeah, I would if you're curious, it's an interesting watch. To see this implemented into a game and puts you in the shoes of one of these characters, where you have to hunt down other people and do nasty things to them, might not be everyone's cup of tea. So caution, due to the graphical nature of this game. But what I've seen, it holds true to its source material. So it doesn't shy from being gory or showing a lot of disturbing material. So I'm all for that. I mean, if it's a game that goes hard into being as close to the reference.
I see.
So as a cooperative game, it's depending on if you like horror themed games, this is probably a good Halloween game that you get to it goes with the holiday.
Yeah. It does. Well, yep. Oh, I should have gotten this.
Yeah.
I have forgotten to go big
show
on it. But this is the only image that we have of this game. I have absolutely no interest in such a game, but
I do.
But you do. You like these themes. You like also this. So yeah.
So this is theme over
mechanics.
Over mechanisms. This is the what you feel. It's your. What
do you have to do? We have to hunt each other.
Yeah. No, you're hunting other people. We are cooperating. We are the same family, right?
And it's one against many.
No, you
or
have...
is an app that.
No, it's not an app. You just have to reach a certain number of victims in order to win the game.
Oh.
There's ways to raise the complexity by adding a sheriff and all that, but yeah, there's something happens. If they escape, you lose. If the sheriff catches and frees a lot of people, then you lose. You have to look into it.
Okay.
I would recommend it. Highly recommend it. But I didn't want to end up on this gruesome theme.
Okay. Let's go to number 3, right? The top 3. And my number 3 is a game that I don't know how many people will be interested in this game. Because, I mean, I like Keyflower. I really like Keyflower. Keyflower is, I don't know if it's in my top 100. I think it is. It's still good. It's still a classic. So, which we have never managed to play on. It's rather hard to play with more because there's some hidden information with the meeples there. But the game is Quayside for 2 reasons. One is it's a key game, so it's Richard Breeze. And then you have the second reason, which is David Turczi. So
this is not your cheat? Because it feels like a spin-off.
It's not a spin-off. Every game that Richard Breeze does is with key. Key to the city, London, Keeper, Keyflower, everything, but the games are different. It's not the same game with... just the name is a spin-off. Because this says each player controls a team of 18 workers, known as keepers, who will work in the farms, harbors, markets, quarry, wheatfield, and woods. Players use their 6 dice to either direct the boats to their chosen harbors or to join the other players on their turns, and in both cases set their team of keepers to work. It also uses dice. Players score points depending on their keepers are located, more in the harbors, from the cottages, and so on. It's a different game. And dude, I really want to play this game. the other one that I have not managed to play yet is Keeper. That's the only one, but yeah, it's Richard Breeze, it's David Turchi. It should be good. It should be really good.
Well, if you like the series, then
Yeah,
it's
I
a game
like.
for you. But
Yeah, I like Key Market. I like Key Flower a lot. Both of them, I think, they're great games, and I'm happy. And now I have a Key Market, because at some point it was just not available. But yeah, quite.
why is the flag on the boat a Microsoft icon?
Where?
It's the 98 one or something like that.
What are you talking about? Where the?
It,
It looks like an XP, not an
yeah,
not,
like an XP, exactly.
like an XP. It looks like, but it's
It's just an Easter egg there.
probably it could be an Easter, but I don't think it's the same one. Is it the
I
same
don't know.
one?
It just my mind
Oh, yeah.
connected the dots.
Yeah.
And
I have not seen
well,
it. Yeah.
it feels like the series tries to tell us a bigger story. Well, then what's the point if you have and then the key, something with a key? It feels like a riddle we need, or a puzzle we need to decipher.
Okay.
Okay, good for you, good for you. Obviously I knew this is going to be on your list.
Yeah.
All right, number
Number three
right?
to you. Yeah.
Ooh, number 3. Okay, it's because of the setting, because of the lore. The game is Knights of the Round Table,
Oh,
and
this
because
is
of
a Johnny Pack design, isn't it?
exactly. So it's I've seen the cover and said, ooh, yeah, I have to look into this, and been pleasantly surprised to see Johnny Pack, which is a friend of the channel's,
Yeah.
to have designed this one. I mean, there's not a lot of information. There's your typical stuff that you would expect from the title, and what you might have to do. You know, it has to deal with chivalry, Holy Grail, the battles, I suppose, and Camelot, I guess. How does that all work? Well, we don't know. We'll have to wait for more information. But if you're into Arthurian legends and knights and all that, which I am a big medieval fan or fantasy at this point, but well, it's a debate if if Arthur existed at all. But
It's the Arthurian legend, my friend.
yes.
It's a legend.
There has been a lot of documentary and debate of if it's based on some ruler that actually existed in Dark Ages. So that doesn't matter. The game is interesting. I wanted to know more about it. The approach of the illustration is a bit modern to what I would want from it. It goes into that comic book style a bit, but we'll see how. If we get to play this one, I would be all for it. But
Yeah, I'm gonna try. I'm not sure.
there has been quite a lot of approaches to the theme, so it's going to be a stiff competition to see what makes it different
If
from
we
the
can,
others.
if we can play, but I don't know if we're able to. I do have Shadows over Camelot, and I haven't played that game in 10 years.
Yeah, another hidden
Yeah.
role with
Yeah.
what-
But I think this is more of a Euro game than the other one.
yeah, but we'll have to wait and see. I think we can get a copy of this one someday.
Hopefully.
So
I
do
have-
try to, please.
I'm gonna try. Okay, let's go forwards to number 2, right?
Yeah.
Number 2. My number 2 is a game, of course. This is a game designed only by Mr. Shem Phillips. And the graphics and artwork is done by his brother, and this is called Scarabre. This is a midweight game. I think it will be a bit heavier probably than midweight. This is, I think I would call it resource conversion most likely. A game. It has chaining of actions. You move on tracks, and it the game. I think I really like the cover of this game, which is it's so different. I do think that Sam Phillips, who did the artwork, is growing as an artist. It's doing things better and better. I think the first one which he did was Riders of Scythia, which was okay-ish, I would say. I was not a huge fan of the artwork on that one. But he started to grow, and I do like how this game looks. It's you have cards which act as workers, and you have to you have to take resources. You have to convert resources. You have to store it. It's not a very complicated game, but it does look interesting. And yeah, I'm gonna get a copy of this one. I'm gonna try very hard because I'm really interested to see what he did with this title.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah, a quick honorable mention on since we are close by. I was looking into the Anarchy
that's a
from
solo game.
Garphy Game.
That's a solo game.
I know, but this is why I didn't include it. I enjoy I like the setting, but not what it presents as a game. It's a roll and write and
Yeah. For me,
something like that.
that was I was not even. This says the aim of Scarabre is to gather various resources in order to feed, clothe, and shelter the growing number of settlers. Players take turn drafting cards and using their workers to furnish, cook, craft, clean, and trade. I do like this. This is if the theme will come out, I think I'm going to really enjoy this game.
Right.
So at the end of each round, players need to provide for the settlers and will likely create more meat that needs to be cleaned up. After 4 rounds, the player with the most. Oh yeah, and that's another thing. You will as we create garbage. So we have to level that up also. I think the first game which did that was with the pollution was Antiquity with pollution. Yeah, so quite interested in this one. Mr. Radu, what is your number two?
All right, my number two you've already mentioned,
Oh yeah,
and
that's an overlap. It's the first time we have
it is, and it's kind of obvious which one. I really love this illustrator and
Wait for it. It's Luthier.
of course it is. I've known about this game for quite a while now. So the release it says 2025, but the information is out. It has
From
been out for
2024,
quite a
yeah.
while, and we've seen a demo. Or at least I passed by their booth, and they were demoing it.
Yeah, I did too. I got a meeting with the guys there.
Yeah, and it looks good. I mean, you would expect everything to be as polished as possible. I don't mind the theme. I actually encourage it. I enjoy to see. I wanted to see more ever since the one with Mozart. Which one from the Veer? Lacrimosa, I think it's
Lacrimosa,
called.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I said I wanted to see more of classical music theme being implemented into board games, and this goes right up that. And it's
In Lacrimosa,
it has a
Lacrimosa, the
sense of
theme that didn't really came out now, did it?
no, but yeah, but
But the game
okay,
was really good, and
yeah,
it died
was good.
very fast. But I diverged. Sorry.
Yeah,
So let's talk about this
so
one.
this brings a level of elegance and you know a bit. Uh, you have to. I think if you like classical music and you're a board gamer, this is a must-have. I, I do believe so.
I like
Um,
Prokofiev, so
yeah,
so that
this
I want something Russian. I want
this
I so that's this is why I was so excited about Ivan Grozny, but guess what? It didn't
yeah.
work out.
So this scratches that intellectual itch that you want to have at the table. I mean, I really want to play this
Hopefully,
game.
I don't know.
And uh,
I'm gonna try
yeah,
to
this
get
is a
it.
strong contender of making it into my collection.
Okay.
If only for its aesthetics, it's good enough for me. But yeah, I know it's a good game as well.
Let's go to number ones.
Number
My
ones.
my number one should not be a
Surprise.
surprise to anyone. Do you think what my number one is?
Yeah, I think it's Speakeasy.
Yeah, it should not be
Is
a.
it?
It should not be a surprise. Of course, it's Speakeasy.
Yeah, I mean, I knew it that when I saw the cover. Well, we've talked about this game before, so it was
Um,
no point for me to put it on my list. It's not even in my alley. So,
I was this close to getting a copy for the channel.
ah,
So hard I fought for that, but so this close and this close in the end. Um, but hopefully I'll be getting a copy after its release. Try to
I'm
play
pretty
it.
sure you will. I have no doubts that you
I'm
have a
gonna,
copy
yeah.
sooner or later.
The I've heard so many good things about it. Um, I do think it's people say that it goes more that Vital goes more to its some of his first designs. A lot of people did not enjoy Inventions. I really liked Inventions. It has its perks because it's a
Wow,
it's
that's a lot of pieces.
steep. Yeah, it's a steep
My
learning
OCD is
curve.
going crazy, right?
But I'm curious to see if this one is easier than the other one, or the last two, which were. To be honest with you, the next one, because I've been following the some of the discussions with the next one, which is the Library of Alexandria, which I think it's almost done. That one is that theme strikes me the most, interests me the most. But I'm also interested in this one because of as far as I know, you do not in this game. You do not hit each other. You do not. You just try to compete.
Right.
You can always add the expansion of of I don't know, adding a mechanism where you can take out another
Like a
a
mobster?
mobster or something.
Yeah.
Um,
Gangster stuff.
it's a yeah. It's not just a moonshine selling game. I was like I said, I was really close on. For me, this is just probably for me. Every Vital game is high on my list. I have to try it. I have to play it. I consider myself a connoisseur when it comes to his games, because I have played all of them, and I can probably do a. Did he do top 10? I think he has 9. Now, I think he has 9 right now. I've I have his games. I've played it. Yeah. So yeah, for me, it's a no-brainer. I
Yeah.
cannot say until I play it, because yeah, I was really interested in the Inventions, of course, for what it was, and part of why I was interested in Inventions was the fact that it dips into the Italian school of design. It dips into getting this action from this action from this other action to do this action. And I was not at all disappointed by Inventions. I really, really like it. My only issue, if I call it, with that game is the fact that it is very hard to bring to the table with new players. You have to play it with someone who know how to play that game. It is not exactly the case with Kanban, for example, because it's easier to teach that game or the gallerist. But that's my only issue with it. But that Inventions is a game I would, and the graphics. I also not a big fan. This one, it gets closer to with the graphics, with everything. I think I'm gonna enjoy it a lot, but let's wait and see how everything will pan out.
Yeah, this reminded me of another game that I can't wait to put to the table of Scarface 1920 that has the same setting.
I have not played that game. I have no idea.
Yeah, but yeah, wanted to mention.
And it also how is it called? The one with that it's easier to play. It also has this setting. I do like mobster games if they're not terribly just a game about taking out your opponents. Getting a bit into that theme is always nice up until one point. Playing Godfather and so on. What is your number one, my friend?
Yes. Okay. I got lost a bit. My number. Wait, I'm trying to look for it. All right. I think we know about this game from last year, and it just skyrocketed to the number one spot. I think I started the list with this game in mind, and it didn't move from my number one because of its medieval theme. What?
It's medieval theme. Okay.
It's medieval themed. It's an artist that just makes games that look extremely good. And appealing to me as to my artistic references. It's the designer is Nestor Mangone.
Oh, is it
the Latin name is kind of hard.
Stupor Mundi?
Exactly, Stupor Mundi. It has all of the expected Euro things you would think of.
Oh, Maciej Janik. Yeah.
Maciej Janik is it makes art for me. It feels like it's dedicated.
This was in my
it's
15.
An exaggeration, obviously,
this
but
was
I really enjoy his artwork, from Stroganov to Oak. What else did he do? From going back to Portal games that he did a bunch for. But I think this is going and showing where he is right now, and he doesn't disappoint.
This has a pretty interesting toy factor. This game, this is.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about that, but I'm trying to trying to praise the illustration first, and then the toy factor. Well, yeah, you build a castle.
I'm interested in this. This was in my 15.
Yeah.
Yep.
So this comes from Queen Games, and I applaud their approach. I think they went so hard into their city titles that it just I'm out of it. And this one got me back, looking at their publishing company. This is high on my anticipated list, and I think I will enjoy this game quite a bit.
I'm gonna try to.
I like everything that I do in it. You have your the theme. I like this, and the building aspect, and having to actually almost Pillars of the Earth style, and you just build and you see at the end of the game what you've done. Uh, I'm a bit afraid of the replayability of this game. It has a lot of randomness in the setup, so I think it might help with that. But yeah, the artwork, the toy factor, I think it's a complete package. Don't know about what the cost will be, but it's it's something that I'm looking forward to having on my table.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I'm gonna try to get a copy. Hopefully, we'll be able to play it
Yeah, I
on
think
stream.
it works well on stream, I think.
It should. Uh,
And yeah, if you get a copy, don't hesitate. I'll even do the teach and all.
um, yeah, I don't. Yeah, well, I don't know what swayed me to get into my top 10. Um, but I do know that in the Kickstarter you get more stuff than. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know why this did not end up in my top 10. I must have done something wrong, because in the moment when I followed the game, I think it went on Kickstarter last year, right? At some point.
Yeah,
I do hope. I do have this. Nestore Mangone, with coupled with Simone Luciani, with Lopiano. Usually, he does games which are very very abstracted. I mean, abstract to its core. And I hope that the theme will come out in this game, because all the other things are very well done. As you said, the presentation and everything looks well done.
yeah.
Okay, okay. That I'm happy I gave you the last word, and I wanted to give you the last word because my number one is pretty much, yeah,
Yeah, we all knew what it would be.
what
So,
kind of it is. Um,
yeah, this is certainly a looker. Yeah, can't wait. I'll be asking every week if you have this game.
so you want to say one or two more titles that were
Yes,
interesting
I
to
would
you?
like to mention some
Let me one
honorable
second.
games.
Let's do this. Let's close this and say one or two games which you found
Yeah.
it interesting.
I think we didn't talk about a few games. One is and I don't know much about it, but it has Rococo on the box, but it's only about the
It's about
dessert.
making sweets.
So
Yeah,
making
it's
sweets.
a game that went first on Kickstarter and then on GameFound. And because of the graphics and artwork, it was not very successful. So Eagle Griffin took it out. They rethemed it to a Rococo theme, and they practically linked it to Rococo, and it's coming.
Yeah,
It's coming back on Kickstarter, and I'm not sure it's going to. It's a lighter game than Rococo. I think it might be a bit lighter than Rococo, but or somewhere there is still a midweight, I think. And it's about making pastries, more or less.
yeah.
But they did redid the artwork, they redid the theme a bit, and hopefully they'll come. I don't know if it will come out this year on Kickstarter, and most likely next year it will come out on. It's done by the Maltese, by the Maltz brothers,
Yeah.
the same guys who did Rococo. Okay.
My other mention would be close to what you had with popcorn, but this one is it has a more of a horror theme to it, so it's spooktacular.
Spectacular. That's such a bad name, and
Yeah, I
spectacular.
mean it's
It's.
a pun on itself, but it's kind
Uh,
of
I'm not.
you're eating your viewers or something like that shenanigans.
Yeah.
So yeah, and my last mention would be Flow or Flowy
Oh,
from Fantasia.
Fantasia. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if it will it come out this year.
Fantasia or Pika?
It's
I think it's
Pika,
Pika.
which is a subsidiary practically of Fantasia. It's their
Yeah.
lighter
So
cat
it
catalog.
has gotten a lot of hype, and it's a quite expected game. So I didn't put it on my list because everyone knows about that game anyway.
For me, it's just
But
too
wanted
light.
to mention it at the end, just so if there's someone that didn't hear about it. So that's my mentions.
Okay. On my mentions, but I don't have a lot of. Is Transgalactica, which is a game from Daniele Tascini and my good friends of Devir.
Yeah, you're practically brothers.
Okay, so now there's a game that I won't probably get, or
No.
maybe I will. Maybe I will. So it is but we don't know that much about it. Um, yeah, it's a lighter game, Jeremiah, for me, but for Rado, I think it's perfect. Flow. I'm gonna try to get a copy if it's that popular. Maybe probably do a playthrough for a lighter day. If But it needs the expansion, as far as Johnny told me, in order to be a bit more juicy. Then another one is Rival Cities, which is done by it didn't make my list because it's a two-player game only, but it's made by Andreas Steding. And I really like Andreas Steding. I mean, you tell me,
Yeah.
Hansa Teutonica,
Yeah.
Gugong, what's the last one where I love the game but I hate the production?
Stroganov.
Stroganov, which is a great game. Someone maybe take that game and do a reprint of it and redo a bit of the graphics and make it better, please. Which is a great game made by a dumb. Sorry, I don't. The company is dead, so only.
You can say what you want now, right? Well-
Andreas Steding is a great designer in my opinion. So every game that comes out from him, I am.
Yeah. He did Firenze. We need to play that.
Okay, Firenze.
Please.
And I don't know a lot about it. This one, which is West Story, a town building game. It looks interesting because for me the town building part of, and it's in the Old West, so this is why I looked at it and seemed interested. I don't know if it's good or not. And another one which it's called Raz.
As.
Raz, A Dance of Love. This is the name of the game.
Oh. Yeah, from Arcane Wonder.
I think it comes out from Arcane Wonders. It's a dice drafting game, I think, where you take dice and those dice are dancers and they do different things. It looked interesting. Let's see if it's any good. It's a bit
It
too
piqued
light.
my interest. It was on my radar, but didn't.
It looks a bit too light.
Yeah.
I have a few more. I had Coming of Age on the bigger list. I had Rebuilding Chicago, Ada's Dream. I have a few more, but there are a few interesting games, let's say, that will come out this year. We still have the Essen list that we need to to finish and get through it, but
Yeah.
I'm eager to see what will happen. I have to say that these days, and I think it's happened, I think it's a year or two now, that I am not rushing to just try new games. Having so many good older games that I don't manage to play. Key Market. It's a game that I have not played in 3 or 4 years. The last time I played it was with you on the channel. Lisboa or Gallerist or I don't know, Haspelnecht or Grand Austria Hotel, or so many good games that I would still want to play. Luna from Stefan Feld, to play on stream on, and I'm not as excited for new games as I used to be.
That's kind of the whole point of this list.
I'm not as I so it was kind of hard to do this list because there were not so. I mean, I looked at it. Okay, seems interesting. Let's try it. Today, I look more for experiences than I look for just new games. I'm not smitten by interesting mechanisms that just do interesting stuff. Or I want an experience out of a game. I want to feel that I have not lost my time playing a certain game. So uh, I hope I really hope Stupor Mundi is good. I really hope Speakeasy gives me that, and
Yeah.
because in the end, Inventions did that to me. I mean, it's a game. Inventions is a game that I would love to take up, bust out, and play right now. Because the more I played it, the more fun I had with it. So I do hope I get more of that with the newer games. But this is what happens when you play games for the stream. You played so many, playing so many heavier games. You just want something out of it. Investing so much time into a heavy game, you want something out of it. I'm just my time is too limited to play fast, small games that do not give me a kick out of, that I don't get a kick out of. I'm not against playing a lighter game or a game that gives me a lot for what it offers, but I do want something more out of a gaming experience these days.
Yeah.
And this
You
is a
want
way
to.
this is a way I rate games these days. I'm not smitten just by, oh look, there's a new someone did something, a new way to do this mechanism. I'm not interested in that anymore. Just someone did a smart mechanism. I want do something more with that mechanism. Oh, and by the way, I forgot there is a new game coming out, but that it did not make my list. Also, not my. It's a new co-op game that will come out from Vladas Vatil. Vladas Vatil has not made a game in a long, long time, so it will be a new co-op. But co-ops for me are just, yeah, do not really care about them. So that's why I didn't make even my long list.
Yeah.
But I remembered right now about about it. So. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens this year with all new games.
Well, it's just because of the nature of how we consume and play games that it's getting harder and harder for us to be impressed or to be enthusiastic about newer titles, because they do have similarities between them, so they do have the mechanisms that they share. But once in a while, you get this title that works
so well, yeah,
and mechanisms that just make for memorable
experiences,
board game experiences that stay with you.
Yep. Yep.
So that's why we are continuing our search for those
types of games. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. And from the thousands of games that come out every year, there are a very few who manages to in the end get that throw at you that experience that at the end, oh man, I would love to go back at it.
Right. So yeah, there's fewer classics in the making. So there was so many titles competing with the older ones for shelf presence is going to be ever tighter. So
Yep. No, it's not from CGE coming. It's from a whole different. From Albi is coming out. What Vladas Vatil does from Albi. And yeah, I pop on from time to time to on the CGE. I pop on many more servers because I'm interested to see what are coming out. I don't have the time to write on servers, but I do try to keep up with what they're developing, what they're talking on game design and things like that. See what people are thinking. So, Mister, this was our top 10 anticipated game of this year. Hopefully, we'll be doing some more top 10s than we did last year, because we have to do that top 10 board game killers.
Oh,
I have a lot of ideas.
well, we should, right? Have a, at least talk about different things rather than putting games together. I mean, talk about how the industry is at the moment, what we think is going on, where it's going, all that jazz.
Yep.
So,
Sir, thank you for coming, sir, for doing this.
yeah.
See you on
I
Friday.
think there are quite a few games to get excited about next year, or this year, sorry.
This year, my
So,
friend.
we
This
have
year.
19 titles to
We're
pick
2025.
from.
2025. Do you remember that in 2020 a pandemic came? Do you believe it's 5 years since?
The thing is, the pandemic never existed for me. I kind of lived in this
Bubble?
room and never left home, so it never got to me. But I did get
You did get the
cure.
virus, so yeah,
No, the cure.
the vaccine.
Yeah.
But you got the virus also at some point. So
If I did, I didn't notice anything.
you had something. I remember it. You took it and you were tired and things like that. You got
Okay.
Omicron at some point.
I'm always tired.
Okay, so let's go and finish this. Thank you, Radu, again.
My pleasure.
So, as always, I want to thank anyone who came and watched live and stuck with us for as long as we did this one. Hopefully, you have your anticipated games right on comments. As Radu said in our last playthrough, smash that that subscribe button if you like what you do. Hit it hard, and yeah, like, share, comment, because it's good for the algorithm and it helps us to be more visible to more people. Thank you anyone who could come live, anyone who will come and watch after the fact. I want to thank my patrons, and until next time, please do what it says there. Play a lot, play loads, folks, have fun, and bye bye, fine folks, wherever in the world you are.